everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I am reviewing Snoof slimes. This video was filmed June of this year, so it was filmed quite a while ago. But the slimes in this package were Dear Me, The First Day of Summer, Icy Part as a thank you slime, Apricot plus Nougat, Raspberry Cold Foam, and Quartet at the Ballet. All the slimes were really nice and nicely packaged. They all smelled really good, and they came with little baggies with the charms they came with. And we will be moving on to the first slime in just a minute. This was the icy part of the first day of summer as a thank you slime, and I absolutely love this slime. It looks super cute. All the females sort of make it look like a birthday cake, even though I don't think that's what it's intended to be. But either way, it just looks really nice visually right now. And once you press in everything and mix it, because it does have a bit of tension at first, it becomes really sizzly and it's really soft. It does have somewhat a wet residue, but that's sort of expected with ices. And this still lasts after a long time, except it does somewhat die down. I think it has not melted, but it's definitely shrunken. Except this slime was honestly really amazing at first. I was absolutely in love with it. Had an amazing texture, and the scent is also really nice too. It was really sizzly, as I mentioned before, and overall it was just really fun to play with. I enjoyed the smaller size and the tiny bubble pops it made. Next is Raspberry Cold Foam. I was actually sort of confused why there is no top label on it, but honestly, I don't really care. Except this thick and glossy texture, they call it an inflating thick and glossy, was absolutely amazing. It inflated a lot, like the name mentions, and it was super glossy and had a unique texture. It was sort of like chewy and glossy and just amazing. It's definitely not the thickest, except the other features make up for it. It inflates a ton, makes a ton of bubble pops, and almost like sizzles because it inflates so much. And honestly, the bubble pops are also amazing. They weren't loud, which I like that, except they also sounded really nice, if you know what I mean. And the scent on this was also amazing. I really liked it. It did smell like raspberries, and just the overall look of this too does remind me of raspberries, even though I haven't really ever eaten raspberries because I'm not a big fan of them. But I love the small glitters in it that just added to it. Next up is Nougat plus Apricot. This was definitely an interesting slime. I don't remember the scent being my favorite or the texture. To me, it seemed too dense in a way, except it also inflated a ton, which sort of like improved the denseness, and it got really fluffy and really inflated, and it sizzled a ton, which was really nice. It made a lot of crackles too, and at the start I remember making bubble pops, and it comes with a little orange jelly cube slime to place on top to probably make it look like apricot jam. I've never seen or had an apricot, so I don't really know if it's accurate or not. You can let me know if you do know. And this came with some almond females, I guess. I don't really know. And other almond charms. But this scent was sort of weird. I believe it was sort of nutty, but also like fruity too, so it was sort of interesting. But again, the slime inflated a ton, and it was fun to squeeze the jelly cubes, and it sort of gave it an orange tint, and it was really fun to inflate and sizzle. This is Dear Me, and this is a coated white glue slushy, which is actually really interesting. It sort of has a wet feel, but it's also not that wet. It came with this plastic coin and some letter phemos, and once you mix in the wet residue that it does have because it's coated, it becomes a very crunchy and bubbly inflating slushy, which is pretty different compared to any other slushy I've tried. It does have some qualities of others, like it has like this certain noise that it makes once you first stretch it. And this scent I sort of thought would be cookie-like, except I believe it was actually more cakey, or on the cakier side, which I found interesting. Except it smelled really nice, and I love the noises this one made and the overall texture. finally, we have Quartet at the Ballet. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Except this slime was definitely my favorite. I don't know about the smell, the scent. It sort of smelled silvery in a way. I don't know how to explain it, but it sort of did. It came with a bunch of gold and silver phemos or sprinkles, and came with 3 gold masquerade charms, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, so you can correct me again. And it was sprinkled in silver and gold dust of sorts, and it looked amazing. I absolutely obsessed over this and didn't want to mix it, but once I mixed, this is honestly one of the best snow fizzes I've probably ever had. It just sizzles amazingly, and it inflates too. It makes such nice crackles. It's just the perfect snow fizz that you could always ask for. I absolutely adore it. It inflates, like, it gets big when you stretch it, and then comes smaller afterwards once you put it back in a swirl. It's really cool.